So Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is taking place this weekend, aka Kendrick Lamar versus Tim Welch is taking place this weekend. And I know this is an MMA channel. I know this is a, UFC only channel, but historically speaking, I dabble in boxing a little bit. I watch a couple of boxing matches. I know who Tyson Fury is. I know who Muhammad Ali is. I watch a little bit of boxing, all right? So, with the UFC card being kind of weak this weekend, I kind of wanted to do a video talking about Canelo Crawford because it is the biggest fight of the year. So Tony has died, will be giving my full prediction for Canelo versus Crawford. Let's get straight into this, all right? Now, I know what you're thinking, bro. Canelo Alvarez is the best grappler in boxing right now. Look at the way he just double legs Godinez with ease, taking him down at will. But I would say this. I think that Terence Crawford's takedown defense is so good. I don't think that Canelo's going to be able to take him down. And honestly, when Canelo is stuck on the feet with Terence Crawford. Okay, I gotta stop fucking around. But when this fight first got made, the biggest problem with everybody was the size of Terence Crawford. I mean, he literally used to fight at 135 pounds. We've seen him struggle against bigger opponents in the past. He still always wins, but his most tough fights have been against bigger people. Well, I think that this recent, I've seen the pictures of Crawford bulked up, and I don't think it's going to be an issue, okay? I think that they're going to be around the same size, but I still think that Crawford is going to keep his speed, and that is the main thing for me going into this fight. A properly bulked Terence Crawford with a big speed advantage over Canelo, I think it's going to be a big problem for Canelo, okay? So Crawford is naturally faster, not just with his hands, but with his feet. I feel like his ability to time counters, especially with southpaw, is going to catch Canelo during exchanges. Crawford thrives on reading opponents, and he is so good at adjusting mid-fight, bro. I feel like he's able to, his ability to switch stances, and not just switch stances, but his ability to just on a dime, change what he's doing to throw off his opponent. I think he's the best at doing that in all of boxing. He's able to switch styles mid-fight, which makes it hard for someone like Canelo, who has struggled against quick movers in the past. Think of, I know this was a fucking 10 billion years ago, right? But think about the Floyd Mayweather fight, for example. Canelo just couldn't find Floyd, and not just he couldn't find his shots on Floyd, but his fucking I think Floyd's foot movement was just too much for Canelo in that fight. And I know ever since that fight, Canelo has gone on to beat everybody except for Bivol and except for GGG, who I thought was robbed in that fight. But you continue to look at the people that Canelo has lost to, and what do they all have in common? They are super fast. They have great footwork. They're able to switch stances, and they don't do the same thing the whole fight, bro. And so here's this. Crawford is a good defensive fighter, and we have seen Canelo struggle with that in the past, with Mayweather and with Bivol. Yeah, Canelo is going to be bigger, right? He's going to be the more powerful guy, but he's not going to be able to land those combos, bro. And that is the key to beating Crawford, I think. It's not just the fucking, I don't know how to explain this, but everybody gets hit in boxing. And Canelo is very good at sticking people. And against these bums that he's been fighting, I know it's crazy to call them bums because they're undefeated, but when we look at we're going to talk about Canelo's record. We're going to talk about Canelo's opponents, who he's been fighting in a second, but you look at I forgot what I was even talking about. Oh yeah. Anytime, Crawford is a good defensive fighter, bro. And anytime Canelo has fought someone with the high-level defense of someone like Crawford, we have seen them struggle, bro. And yes, this is what I was saying. Canelo is going to be the more powerful guy. But he's not going to be able to land those combos on Crawford, bro, who is slicker than him, I feel like, and who is faster than him. Now, a big factor in this fight is the age difference. 35 years old for Canelo Alvarez, 37 years old for Crawford. And kind of like, I hate to say this, kind of like the Pacquiao versus Mayweather fight. Or maybe, like, this fight should have happened a while ago, maybe 5 years ago, bro. If it was going to happen. Because it's like, I don't think that either guys are really, I mean, they're in their primes for sure. They're the best fighters in the world, but they're unks at this point, you know? And so I don't think that Crawford being 2 years younger is going to be a problem. I'm at 2 years older. I don't think Crawford being 2 years older is going to be a problem. Because when we look at the damage taken, especially in those GGG fights, Canelo is the more weathered fighter. He has taken more damage than Crawford throughout his career. And not just that. In terms of knockouts, yeah, Canelo has more knockouts, but I feel like Crawford has a higher knockout percentage, and he has been knocking out people as of late. He beat the fuck out of Spence. And Spence was undefeated for the longest time. And Spence, in his own right, the win over Errol Spence is better than anything Canelo has done in the past couple of years. So let's talk about Canelo's opponents, who he's beaten. Hopefully this pulls up right. But when we look at Canelo's record, 63 wins, 2 losses, right? But let's look deeper into this, okay? William Skull, undefeated. Edgar Berlanga, undefeated. Jamie Munguia, undefeated. Charlo, 1 loss. Ryder, 5 losses. But when we look deeper into this, okay, you look at William Skull, we click his record. Who has William Skull beaten, bro? Fucking nobodies. 23-18, 2 fights before fighting Canelo. 26-25. These are people, he's beating fucking trash cans, bro. Oh, all right. These fucking ads keep popping up. I don't like, these ads are actually pissing me off. We look at Berlinga, for example, who has popped. He has gone on to lose after he lost to this fucking Hazma Sherez guy. Who, like, you look at who he beat before he fought Canelo, just fucking nobodies. Like, who are you people? You know? And so here's what I'm saying about Canelo. Yeah, his record, he looks nice, but he hasn't fought someone like Terence Crawford in a while. And the last time he fought someone like Terence Crawford, it was Bivol. And he lost. Now, yes, he beat GGG in the 3rd fight. But you look at the other 2 GGG fights, and those were the people he fought who was similar. And he should have lost this fight for sure. And then this fight could have been a robbery. And so, I don't know, man. You look at the Canelo fights, then you go back farther. The next best person, so the best people he's fought is Floyd Mayweather. I guess Julio Cesar Chavez is pretty good, but he fought GGG, who I thought he lost to, and he fought Bivol, who he lost to. And so, all the best people that Canelo has fought, it seems like he's lost to them. And not just that, we have been asking for the fucking David Benavidez fight for the longest time out of Canelo. And he picked this fight with Crawford, who is much smaller than him. Now, I will say this. I do think that Crawford is deserving to go fight Canelo, because he's done enough. I don't think that this is a fight that shouldn't happen. But I think we can all agree that we all would have rather seen the Benavidez fight rather than the fucking Crawford fight, bro. Because Benavidez has been on such a tear lately. And it seems like Canelo, who's just been fighting fucking potato bags for the last couple of... Like, dude, I don't get it. I don't... Like, the Canelo hype is there. He's very skilled, don't get me wrong. But it seems like John Ryder... Who the fuck even is that? Why are you fighting them when you have people like Benavidez who actually are going to be good opponents to you? So Canelo every time Canelo has, the best people Canelo has fought, in my opinion, he's lost to. GGG. And I feel like Crawford is just another person. This will be the hardest test for Canelo for sure. But yeah, man, as I was fucking saying, Crawford's versatility and adaptability. Crawford switches stances so fluidly. And he is so good at game planning as well. He can approach the fight he can fight at range. He can fight on the inside. He can counterpunch. Canelo, he used to be a fucking volume fighter in the past. He's kind of digressed, and he hasn't been finishing people lately, right? And Canelo tends to rely on like specific setups. You know what I'm talking about? If Crawford can keep changing looks, I think that he should be able to neutralize Canelo's rhythm. Now, I will say, hold up. The amount of 12-round fights that Canelo has had is somewhat concerning when you're trying to pick Terence Crawford in this fight. I'm pretty sure Canelo has had around 10 12-round fights, and Crawford has had 4. But I feel like even with this fight going later into the rounds, I feel like it even still favors Crawford. Because we have seen Canelo, who in the GGG fight and in the Bivol fight, has kind of struggled in the later rounds against these types of opponents. And I feel like Crawford should be able to get it done, man. I feel like he is just a better boxer at this. Like, maybe if this was, I'm not saying that this isn't prime Canelo. Like, this is obviously still a very great version of Canelo. But maybe if this was Canelo a couple of years ago, who was getting finishes and who has the snappiness on his fucking jab, and who's got the counter punching ability, maybe if it was that Canelo, I'd be more inclined to pick him. But I think that Crawford, who has shown a great ability to just adapt on the fly, I feel like that's going to be the downfall of Canelo in this fight. I feel like Crawford's ability to just get stronger as the fight goes on, and Canelo kind of, starts to slow down a bit towards the end. And not just that, I feel like his ring IQ is better than Canelo's at this stage in their career. But yeah, despite being the smaller guy, Crawford will have a reach advantage to help land his straight punches. And I feel like as the fight picks up, Crawford's going to start building in, finding his shots, and he's going to land combos on Canelo. And I feel like this fight is going to end in a decision. Surprise, surprise. It's going to end a decision with the king, Terence Crawford, as the champion. I think that Terence Crawford will win this fight by decision. I feel like it's going to be 115 to 113 in favor of Crawford, meaning I think Canelo will win 5 rounds, and I think Crawford will win like 7 rounds. Maybe even 8 rounds to 4 rounds. I don't see it. Like, maybe, dude, it's fucking boxing. It could be a fucking draw. Why do they do even numbers of rounds just so they can fucking sell? Like, the problems of boxing still have not been eliminated. But the point I'm trying to make is I think that Crawford should get it down. Now, there are other fights on this card. I don't really want to talk about it, to be honest. I mean, I know Callum Walsh is on the card, and I know Inoue is fighting not tomorrow morning, but Sunday morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why they do all of his fights at the fuck. Like, I have to wake up in the fucking middle of the night to watch Inoue. It's the most annoying shit ever, bro. Like, why can't you just put fights on in the U.S.? Like, U.S. time at least, bro. At least make it like, I guess I'm just being fucking selfish and I'm kind of just ranting, but yeah, man, that's my prediction for Canelo versus Crawford. I think Crawford should win the fight by decision. If you like the video, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube shit. And hey, man, if you're an MMA fan getting into boxing, you can just use this video and just be like, oh yeah, man, I know a bunch about boxing. Yeah, I'm a huge boxing fan, man. So yeah, just use this video as your fucking cheat code, I guess. But that'll do it for the video. Thank you so much. Like the video. It helps me out so much, you have no idea. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.